What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new episode. Coach Joe here with Heartletics.com, and I think that this one is going to be it's going to be a juicy one, boys and girls. I think that today's episode is really going to help you start building up on some of the mental tools that you need to succeed in life, hands down. We're going to be talking about in today's episode, when life throws you adversity, what do you do? What do you do when life throws you adversity? Because here's the thing, and I say it all the time. Anybody can do anything when life is great, right? When life is easy, there's no stress, there's no adversity. It's very easy to do anything, right? But that's not life, right? Life throws us curveballs. And maybe that curveball is like, I don't know, maybe your kids get sick and you have to, take time off, from work to, to help them, so that way they can stay home from school. And it's a curveball. Maybe it's a, rain in your parade, right? Damper. But it happens. Maybe you get an injury. Maybe you get sick. Maybe something severe happens in your life. And maybe at that time, you're like, oh man, this sucks. I know for me, right, there's plenty of times that happen, right? If let's say I talk about it all the time on the podcast. Back when I was the worst heartbreak I ever went through in my life that made me completely go, get depressed, everything like that. It sucked, right? I was so emotionally and mentally weak, but it was meant to be. And that's what we're going to be talking about in today's episode is how to have a positive twist, how to always look at the glass being, more full rather than empty, in terms of, hey, at the end of the day, it's all going to work out in the end. So sit back, relax. This is going to be a juicy one, okay? I will say this also. I'm not going to be the nice coach that I normally am. Well, I'll say it like this on the podcast. You get that aggressive coach. And I feel like that's why I really enjoy making these podcasts, because I can yell at this computer screen and record myself and just be real. Because at the end of the day, I listen to my own podcast. I don't know many other people that actually do that, but I actually do. Because I sometimes need to hear myself. I need to practice what I preach. So today's episode, this isn't going to be for the clients. This isn't going to be for, the people that are just tuning in for the first time and hearing what Heartletics is all about. Maybe I sent them over this because they're applying for, a qualification call with Heartletics. This episode is for myself, right? Because this is the reminder to me that, hey, at the end of the day, Joe, life isn't fair. Life isn't easy. And I've been through hell and back. And at the end of the day, I'm still going through hell and back. And there's just different levels. So I'm going to completely just record today's episode as if I'm talking to myself. And all I ask in return is that if you get any value at all from today's episode and something I say talking to myself seems to click with you, and one of those mental switches flips up and you're like, okay, hey, this makes sense. Let's keep this, right? And it's in your mind. All I ask is that you also share this, maybe on your Facebook page, share this with a friend, share this with a family member, somebody, because if it had a positive impact in your life, I would love to continue that, momentum and maybe have a positive impact in somebody else's life as well. And every share, every like is greatly appreciated. So let's dive in. So Joe Callari, Coach Joe, right? Here's the deal. Life is great right now. At the same time, you're worried, you're focused on the future way too much, you're focused on your goals, you're getting off course, right, from your present day to day. Stop caring so much about the future. It's not here yet. It's going to happen. Your goals, you're going to achieve them, but stop being so focused on them right now because it's taking you away from the finer things in life. Quality time with your family. Being in the present moment. When you're talking to somebody, right? Whether it's a coach, whether it's a member, be there. Don't focus about these other million things that you have going on. Just be present. Because at the end of the day, Joe, once again, life is good right now, but it's not going to be good in the future. It's not. Because every time you're seeing more success in life, every time you're trying to push yourself, and Joe, I admire you. I respect you. I'm proud of you. Because here's the reality. Most people, they're scared to step outside their comfort zone because they know for a fact it's going to be tough. They know for a fact life is going to throw them curveballs. But at the end of the day, Joe, we're built different. We're a warrior. We're a Spartan. This is why we have our Spartans community group inside the Heartletics app for the Spartans only. It's for the men out there that, hey, they're ambitious. They're looking to not just make a difference within themselves, but make a positive difference within the other members inside of Spartans at the Heartletics community group. Where, hey, this is the guys that they're going to go above and beyond. They're doing it for a real reason to inspire others as well. And Joe, once again, life, it's going to throw you many curveballs. But here's the thing. Every time, Joe, life has thrown you curveballs, even way back in the day when you're really, really depressed, right? In that toxic relationship and you needed a lot of help to get over that. Guess what? You still got over it. Yeah, it took a long time, but hey, it's what made us better in the end. Because we can use that negativity, we can use that depression, we can use those suicidal thoughts that we had to motivate us and have a better story in the end. So at the end of the day, Joe, life might be good right now. But guess what? It's not going to be good in the future. It's not. Because we got to push you, Joe. At the end of the day, I look at you in terms of just like this ever-evolving, little caterpillar. And at times, when you want to grow, guess what? We have to put you inside of this cocoon. And inside of that cocoon, you're going to get, distorted. You're going to get, closed and claustrophobic. And it's going to be tight to breathe. And it's going to be hard. And you're going to be very scared, right? It's nothing but darkness. But, Joe, at the end of the day, you're going to grow into that butterfly. And if that analogy wasn't manly enough for you, Joe, because I know you're trying to level up and become a better man each and every day, let's have another one then. Let's talk about, bow and arrow. How the farther you pull it back, yes, there's going to be so much tension on that bow, but the farther you pull back that arrow, Joe, the farther it's going to go in life, brother. And that's you. That's you, big dog. Because at the end of the day, yes, you have family that support you in your dreams. Yes, you have family that supports you in your dreams and friends. And guess what? That's great. That's great. But regardless of who supports you or not, you have to learn to be your own best friend. You have to learn how to dig down deep within. Honestly. You need to start going within rather than going without, looking for all the answers. Because even though life is good right now, guess what? When life gets really tough, even though other people are going to be there to help you, right, in those times when you need to vent and get things off your chest, guess what? The best source of help is always going to be within. So, Joe, even though times are good right now, still dig down deep. Do certain things that's going to push you outside your comfort zone each and every day, Joe. Maybe that's calling up a family member or a loved one or a friend that you haven't talked to since high school just to check up with them to say, hey, I know back in the day we had some memories, and I just want to say I'm grateful for those memories, man. How you been? A lot of people don't want to do that. As I'm recording this episode, I don't want to do that. But guess what? Any little bit helps, Joe. Any little bit helps where you push yourself outside of your comfort zone. Because when those storms of life are going to come, I promise you, right? You're going to be wishing that you did this each and every day. You're going to be wishing that you stepped outside your comfort zone. Because, Joe, this is life. And there's levels to life. And every time you're about to reach this new level, you need to go through adversity. You need to go through those storms. You need to go through hell. And every time you're willing to get bigger and bigger, right? More successful, a better mindset, these demons that you're going to face is only going to get harder. But at the end of the day, Joe, you are built different. You are built with the mindset first before the body to withstand these storms of life. These adversities, they're inevitable. And you're going to use your story to inspire millions of people. You're going to use your story to inspire your friends, your family, everybody that trusts you with their health and fitness goals inside Heartletics. You're going to use your story to inspire the world. And it's going to be tough. It's going to be hard. There's going to be a lot of people that do not want to see you succeed. There's going to be a lot of people that's going to talk a lot of crap. There's going to be a lot of people that's going to talk you down. But at the end of the day, all the naysayers out there, it's just a proven fact that you're on the right path to greatness, that you're doing the right things. Because at the end of the day, if everybody in this world loved you, you're not standing up for something different. You're not trying to make a movement. You're not trying to make a push for better mental health, self-help, physical health, emotional health. So at the end of the day, Joe, you need to grind like your life depends on it. Why? Because it does. Because if you don't do this, no one else will. If you don't have that envision of yourself, if you don't have that future goals, if you're not willing to talk, right? If you're not willing to express yourself, who will? How can you inspire other people to make this change if you can't make it within? So regardless if times are good right now, Joe, it's not going to be. You're going to have to push yourself each and every day, one step better. That's it. 1% better each and every day. That one step is just one step outside your comfort zone. It could be anything, Joe. Because at the end of the day, I want you to know this. You're in a really good place right now. Really good mindset. Really good with your health. Really good with your family. Really good with your business. But guess what? That's not how it's going to be the rest of your life. So don't get too comfortable in this little, circle of joy called your comfort zone. Because at the end of the day, people are always going to die inside their comfort zone. That's when life's going to put you the curveballs. That's when life's going to throw these tests at you. And when you're inside your comfort zone, you're going to fall off. It's going to be hard. So how do you get more prepared? Well, hey, you go to the gym, Joe. You work out, right? You work out those muscles, bicep curls, chest press, right? Squats, great. Start working out your mental muscle more. You have a solid morning routine right now. I absolutely love it. But guess what? We don't have the best nighttime routine because we're too busy working. So we need to delegate better. We need to trust other people with more projects, right? We need to focus on, having a set time in our phone where we're going to sleep. We're putting our phone on do not disturb. Why? Because at the end of the day, Joe, you need to focus on those mental muscles. You need to focus on being selfish. You already tell everybody when you're more selfish in life, guess what? You focus on you, put yourself as a priority, your family succeeds. Your family doing better because you're creating better habits for yourself. You're inspiring other people around you to also make that change because you're leveling up in life. It's time to level up again. It's time to focus on that mental muscle a little bit more because at the end of the day, Joe, this big storm, it's coming. And right now, we're not ready to handle it. So guess what? Start right now getting more mentally prepared. Start with a better nighttime routine. Start with really digging down deep within and finding out how bad do we actually want this. If today was our last day on earth and our job was to inspire one person, what are we willing to say? What are we willing to do? How are we willing to act to make sure that, guess what? We hit that little mental check and we can live another day. Treat every day like that, Joe, and I promise you, you're going to have success. You're going to be able to reach your goals. You're going to be able to inspire millions of people to make this change in their life. It's going to happen. Life's always going to throw curveballs. We're going to be ready for those storms. Keep it up, Buttercup. You're doing great in life, and I'm proud of you, and I love you. That's it, guys. That's the end of today's episode. This was a episode for myself because I need to be more selfish than how I'm already selfish. So once again, this was different. This probably threw a lot of listeners for a curveball, but I just hope that somebody listening to this got some little bit of value, right? To share it, whether you're sharing it on Facebook, whether you're sharing it into the community groups on the Heartletics app, whether you're sharing this, with a friend and family, just texting them over the episode, or maybe just sharing this and tagging me in it on Instagram on maybe your stories. Doesn't matter. If you got any little bit of inspiration, motivation, encouragement, then share it. Because at the end of the day, I'm selfish and I want to change the world and I'm going to need your help. That's it. So if you guys got any value at all, please do me a favor and share this. And if you guys want to better yourself and become more mentally, physically stronger and start really taking life by the horns and really saying, you know what? Joe's right. If this was my last day here on earth, am I actually happy with what I'm doing right now? Am I actually content with this? And guess what? If you're not, it's very easy to make a change. But it all starts with you deciding to make one decision. That decision could be as simple as going to heartletics.com, downloading one of our free, fat loss guides. That could be watching the free fat loss training video. That could be seeing all these hundreds of testimonial videos that we have inside the testimonial page. it could be just taking inspiration, right? Taking action and doing something. And guess what? In that free fat loss guide, we go over the basics, baby. We make things so easy. It's the fundamentals to fat loss. These 7 essential fat loss habits for success. And I promise you, if you just start implementing some of those tools, you're going to start creating better healthy habits. That's the inevitable. And when you start doing things to better yourself, that's when your family's going to change. That's when your friends are going to change. That's when your coworkers are going to change, because they're going to see the change that happened with you, that happened within. And as soon as that happens, right, when you have that change within, think about that as just like you just lit that little fire that's deep down inside. And now other people can see that light in you, and you're going to start giving other people some sparks to also lit their fire inside. Let's make the world a better place. With that being said, I really hope that you guys got some value from today's podcast episode. As always, this has been Coach Joe with Heartletics.com, and I'll talk to you guys in the next episode. Peace out, Girl Scout.